Our next guests are two quick-witted, smart, funny, and not to mention beautiful, Vancouver-based comedic actors and filmmakers who have taken matters into their own hands. By creating not only a hilarious YouTube channel called Girl on Girl Humor, but with the help of TELUS Story Hive and a very supportive community, they have co-produced a web series called Girls vs. the City. The show is a satirical look at life in one of the most beautiful and most expensive cities in the world, Vancouver, Canada. On the show, which is heading into Season 2 on TELUS Optic, they play exaggerated versions of themselves in a series of self- and character-based sketch. The series takes place entirely in Vancouver. With skyrocketing rent prices and a rapidly draining dating pool, these are just a few of the speed bumps these women encounter. So ladies and gentlemen, we bring you Brynn, Peebles, and Brianna, Wiens. What's up, Vancouver? We're back here today with Girls vs. the City. We're at Grandview Lanes here on Commercial Drive in Vancouver. Ladies, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having us very much.
So tell us, how did you ladies all meet?
We met in theater school many moons ago.
Auditioned together, and then we were the first person each other saw on the first day of school. And we were both like, I fucking knew that bitch was gonna get in.
Yeah.
And then we became friends.
Can you swear on this channel?
Right.
It's the internet.
Yes, say whatever you want.
Yeah, we just kind of formed a very close friendship in theater school, and then it just translated into making funny videos.
So, you won the Story Hive, TELUS Story Hive contest, I guess we call it, or?
Yeah, they give away grants. So we won $10,000 to do a pilot in 2016 with Story Hive. They give out a bunch of $10,000 grants, which is pretty amazing. So we started with that, doing our pilot, and then we crowdfunded the rest of the season.
Yeah, we did all of Season 1 on $5,000. We did a Kickstarter, and yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was a definite passion project for sure.
How long did that take to crowdfund?
The crowdfunding was for a month.
Yeah.
And then the actual shooting took about 4 months. We were only shooting on weekends over about 4 months, and everybody was volunteering.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was your initial reaction when you found out that you were selected?
We were stoked. You know what? It was like so last minute. It was like, I think 4 days before the deadline, we're like, let's just do this. So we like did the pitch video, like chose the name for the show. We were like choosing what it would be called like the night before, and like did it all. And then we're like, okay, we'll see what happens. So then when we got the grant, we were like, I guess we're writing a pilot. So we wrote a pilot, and because we had lots of ideas, but nothing was solidified yet. So it definitely kicked our butts into gear to do it.
Was it your first time writing? In general?
Yeah, I mean, our comedy that we've done before it's largely improvised, so that was our first experience really with like a narrative script.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and actually having to take the time to sit down and write a full episode of something for sure.
Yeah.
Did you have any mentors along the way? Any advice from people?
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, one of our good friends, Lisa Hughes, who did the Actress Diaries, like helped us write our pilot, which was a massive help. She actually knows how to script write, which was great.
Yeah, we kind of were like, we have these ideas, like we don't know what to do with them, and gave her all this stuff, and then she like came up with the first draft, and we were like,
cool.
Okay, structure. This is what we need.
And we have our friend Megan Conway as well, who helps us sort of storyboard and write and come up with hilarious ideas throughout the rest of the season. So yeah, we definitely are a collaboration for sure.
Yeah.
You know what you ladies used to write? Is it Celtx, that kind of software?
We use Final Draft.
Final Draft.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And a lot of phone notes.
A lot of phone notes.
Yeah.
And then Google Drive notes and back and forth and
Post-it notes.
Yeah.
How did you cast your show?
A lot of secret stuff.
Yeah.
Do tell.
Season 1 was a lot of like, we did have auditions for Season 1. The pilot, especially, and a lot of Season 1 was a lot about who do we know that is just hilarious.
Yeah.
That will work for free. And then Season 2 was a lot more of a process of like auditioning and casting a bigger pool of actors that we didn't know. And
yeah, we always ask for people if they had improv experience, like show us that. Like we like to improvise. We like, that's kind of our vibe. So lots of we wanted people who are comfortable with comedy, and you can tell pretty quickly whether someone's comfortable with comedy or not when they're like, they can be a great actor, but you have to have that kind of just a different funny bone.
There's season 2. Did you ladies get more funding?
Yeah. We got way more funding than $5,000, which was great.
Yeah, TELUS did, Story Hive did a 100K edition, so it was for, I think it was shows that were going into their second season could win up to 100K to do it. So we won one of those, which, was huge. It's made a big difference. We're able to pay people. Production value's gone up.
It just made a lot more possible, which was really awesome. And we're very grateful to TELUS.
How long did it take you to shoot like season 1, season 2 compared?
Yeah, so season 1, because everyone was working for free, it was 4 months it was just as many weekends as we could fit, because everybody was working a full-time job, and then this was just something they were doing because they were very kind people. And then season 2, we shot in 11 days over January, February. So,
it was a very different experience.
Just pumped it out.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Well, how did you find your crew for season 2?
Amazing. Incredible.
We worked with Joel McCarthy, who's an amazing director, writer, producer. He recommended our DOP for season 2, and then he came on board with a bunch of his people, and they were incredible.
Amazing.
And directors, we had Peter Carlone, who he did 2 episodes
of season 1.
We loved, so we brought him back. Amy Goodmurphy, who acted in season 1, we brought her back to direct an episode, and then Joel, who's a good buddy of ours. So it was just
we really lucked out hardcore with the crew. Yeah, and across the board, they were amazing.
Yeah.
What would you say was the biggest challenge, season 1, season 2, or overall, I guess?
I think just try to be and fill so many different roles. As for us, we're writers, we're lead actors, and we're producers, and it's as much help as we have. I think it's so challenging to balance all those things, and there's a lot of balls in the air.
So many.
Any favorite moments? Any funny moments? They're all funny, I suppose.
Yeah, that's so fun.
It's the best. I think that's what I'm the most proud of in a lot of ways, is the vibe that we get to have on set and how much fun everybody has.
We really grind people down. It's if our crew comes and they're really serious about it, we just grind them down until they laugh at our jokes and have a good time.
Yeah, and they all eventually like us by the end
we
of
hope.
it. Yeah,
I don't know. Just our directors were all super great. That makes such a difference. Peter, he did 3 episodes this season. He's a comedian. Just good vibes on set.
I think it's important to remember you're making a comedy, so if you're not having fun shooting it, it's probably not that funny.
Yeah.
Well, I heard comedies are the hardest to shoot, or hardest to write, or shoot, or act.
I would agree with that.
We were talking about I think it's a lot more exhausting to do a full day of comedy acting than dramatic, because it's almost you get to this place if you're being serious and you have to
be exhausted.
Whatever
works
it's
for you.
It's if you're tired and emotional, then that's great. But comedy, it's you gotta be on.
Yeah.
And just
it's all
keep it high
timing.
energy, and the camera can see if you're tired or whatever.
And you're also dealing with an actor just bailed on us, we gotta find a replacement. A crew member's sick, we gotta find her. So it's just
the
it's
producer
a lot of
side of
things.
it.
Yeah.
When did you decide to do Girls versus the City?
That pilot, the Story Hive pilot, I mean, we had written a year prior an episode just for fun, and then we were hey, I'm sure there's a bunch of this we could use for that, and then we just kind of came up in terms of what happens to us in our real lives that's funny to us, and then we just made a show about it. So, yeah.
I should ask, why did you decide? Is it because of all the past shows you've done on YouTube? It's kind of you got all these ideas flowing, and then just let's write a series? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I personally was really inspired by, Brynn and I had always talked about doing more narrative stuff. We just were constantly, we would message each other, funny things that happened, oh my god, this would be a good sketch, oh this, we were doing that all the time. And I watched Broad City, the first season, 4 times, and I was just we could do that. I don't know, I really love that show, and I just felt inspired by those ladies, and that I could see Brynn and I in those positions, obviously in our own vibe, but doing that. And so I think, we just started kind of riffing on stuff, and what would that look like? And like the idea of just being our exaggerated versions of ourselves, just Brynn and Brianna, but like not everything in the story is true, although some of it is.
Basically, we just thought we were funnier than anybody already making a show, so we were like, let's just do it.
Just gonna put that out there. Well, talking about inspiration, how do you come up with each episode, the ideas for each episode?
Yeah.
Is it drawn from real life? Or?
Totally. I mean, what we did for both seasons is we actually sat down, us and Megan Conway, who you write with, we just sat down and we're like, everything funny, like funny names, like funny places, situations, just like get it all out there, and then it kind of just like trickles through and like what sticks, like what's going to be that episode, like what's the thing we think is the most hilarious thing we really want to write something about, or we can see that happening, and then the other things just kind of fit in.
Yeah.
Where do you see it going?
I think dream for us is like obviously huge pipe dream of like a Netflix
Not a
pickup.
pipe dream.
Or like it's a real dream.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's always been like to be on a sitcom and to have that be like my own show would be amazing. Like to get to go to set every day and just laugh every day and be an idiot and improvise and just have fun and write our own stuff. Like that would be amazing. If somebody wanted to pay us for it, that would be super cool.
Yeah, I think like even in the second season we were writing longer episodes. Like I can see we're working towards like 22-minute episodes, and now it doesn't really matter. Like now with this like online like Netflix whatever, it's like it doesn't have to be a 22-minute episode anymore. So definitely a little more long form and like fuller fleshed out seasons, because right now they're small. We would love to have more of a story arc over like 10 episodes.
There's so much we want to do and know we can do with the whole story and the show, so any sort of opportunity to just do more, I think, would be welcome. Yeah.
When did you both know you wanted to be actors?
I'm not sure. I do. Honestly, like, Brynn is like,
I've known since I was a very little kid. So my mom says like one of the first things I ever said to her was, I think whenever I figured out there was a name for what I was already doing, which was just performing in front of people all the time, I was like, great, that's what I'm gonna do. So
I always wanted to be a director and went to acting school to become a better director, and then just like got sucked into it. I mean, I acted and stuff too, but I've always struggled with like the being an actor. Like I don't fully identify with just being an actor. I don't know.
It's all that I am.
This is why I love this though, is because like the producing, like the creation is like, that's what really gets me going, is like that we are creating this, not just that I'm showing up to set.
I think that's a huge part of why we started doing this, was it's really frustrating to just be an actor and like nobody, it's just like, well, no one's casting us in what we want to be in, and also no one's even making it.
Nobody's
creating the stuff we'd want to be in. So
you have
may
to
as
wear
well
many
do it
hats.
ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. You have to create your own work, basically. In this environment.
And it's more fun. So and we get cast every time.
And we're the stars.
And you get the power now. You get you make the choices.
Very bossy.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
When did you make the leap?
Well,
we both quit our jobs.
I quit my job 2 years ago, my day job 2 years ago, and I haven't looked back. I panic a lot, but I haven't, I mean, I guess for me, that was like a big moment of like, I'm only going to do stuff I love to do, and
And I quit my job like about a month after B did, and that's like a week later we got the $10,000 grant, and I was like, okay. And then I just got broke 8 months later, and now I have a job again, but it's still pretty good overall.
Survival jobs. What are some survival jobs you've had over the years?
I always served.
I've done a lot. I worked for one terrible year in the bedding department at Linens and Things. And
I wish I had known you better there.
Pillow shams often. And duck down versus goose down.
What is the difference?
I don't know. I made it up.
Duck down.
Yeah.
I would trust you if you told me.
Well, yeah.
What's your worst? What's been your worst survival job?
I know yours. No, I don't know.
I think probably the worst I did for like 7 years. I worked at a country club in West Vancouver, which was just, the rich and like in no way famous of West Vancouver.
But like think of all that material.
But I got a lot of stand-up material over that time. Yeah.
Like when we were in school, I worked at Starbucks. So in our third year of acting school, I would like get up at 4:30 in the morning and go and serve coffee till like noon, and then I'd go to class till like 5, and then we would be like rehearsing a show. So then I'd be in rehearsal from like 6 to 10. So that was tough.
Yeah.
Any comedic
Jealous.
inspirations?
So many. Yes. Yeah. I was like hugely inspired like by the Mindy Project. Like I love everyone in that cast. I think Mindy Kaling is hilarious. Kristen Wiig, Maya Rudolph, like the whole SNL cast of ladies right now. Yeah, so many.
We love the like Amy Poehler, Tina Fey love. I mean, like we can relate to that. And I like Parker Posey a lot. I just find her like, not that I don't have her style, but like I think she is hilarious. We really love Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Is like huge.
Yeah, we love that. So we love that cast in general, and just like Andy Samberg's like, he always has really clean humor, which we like, but it's
so
like
stupid though, and I just love it so much. Yeah.
I love the secretary on that show. Actually.
Yeah.
Chelsea Peretti.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I love her, and sometimes people say I'm like her, and I'm
I
like,
can see it, definitely.
I think it's a nose. But anyway,
the
I
eyes,
think like
super funny.
any
Boys.
shows as well that are just kind of leaning like Arrested Development, like The Office, like that whole kind of ensemble weird cast of characters, I think is super.
Portlandia. We love those guys too.
Yep.
Were you both class clowns growing up at all?
Big time. That is what I got voted in our grade 12 yearbook. I wanted most likely to win an Academy Award. What I got was the equivalent of biggest idiot. So, yep, I was for sure. Total ham.
Not me. No.
Brianna was way cooler than I was in high school.
You didn't know me in high
Look
school.
at this jacket.
Right?
She's rocking
Light wash
today.
denim.
This is a fashion hole.
Is that what you call it?
A fashion hole. I am now. Oh God. No, I always did like theater and stuff. I was a big old theater nerd, but I wasn't really. I don't think I was a class clown.
Yeah, I craved attention a lot more.
Looked for attention in a lot of different places.
Favorite place to eat in Vancouver?
Oh gosh, that's tough. I feel like I need to break it down into
So many different.
yeah.
Okay, if I'm feeling classy,
Ugh.
but not too classy,
Annalena.
I was gonna say Savia Volpe.
What's that?
Savia Volpe on Kingsway. It's like just Italian. The garlic bread, so good.
Tacofino, classic.
Tacofino is a classic for sure. And they have different menus at all the locations. So I have like favorites in different spots. I really like the commissary though, like their orig here.
If I'm, I gotta say though, Annalena is like pretty unreal.
Yeah.
Pretty phenomenal.
Also very delish.
Also very, very expensive.
It's not that bad.
It's not. We
It's
should take
to,
that
to
out.
us. Yeah, don't have that
To
in there.
broke actors, it is.
How would you describe the dating scene here in Vancouver or just in general?
Uh,
I asked that question because those themes come up obviously in the show.
Totally.
Yeah, I think it's lacking, is what I would say, in terms of.
What I would, sorry, go.
Go.
I was just gonna say, I feel like in general, Vancouver, and maybe it's our age too, I'm not sure, but like, it's like people are either in their routines or like they have their friends, so it's almost like kind of hard to break into like, to meet new people a little bit. So I don't know if it's just like people in general or like the singles thing, but
Any funny stories?
I don't date. I literally haven't dated, and I used to get a lot of numbers when I worked at Starbucks from customers. Dated a few of them too.
Yeah. Just makes really good Americano.
Real good. You just go like this. This is what you do at Starbucks.
Yay, you did that well.
Thanks.
I dated a male model once, and I regretted it every step of the way.
Tell me why.
Haven't you dated a couple?
Yeah, I dated two. I don't know
Is that your
why.
type?
One of them didn't drink, and I was like, ugh, God, right off.
Fun.
And then the other one talked about himself all night. He took me to Cafe Crepe for our date and bought a pitcher of beer.
In case you're wondering, gentlemen, don't do that.
Don't do that. And then he said, "Don't worry, I'll cover it." And I said, "Thank you." And yeah, then I stopped talking to him, and then he called me one day to tell me that he friendship missed me. So I later found out he was stealing money from the nightclub he was a bouncer at. So
Oh my God.
you know, we could have gone on a nice vacation maybe, but
Yeah.
Lost out.
didn't work out.
Miss the
Didn't
boat.
work out.
Which
Yeah.
location did you eat at?
Did he bounce at?
No, which location did you? Which
Cafe Crepe.
Oh, it was the
There's like
the
4
small
within a
one on Granville Street. Yeah,
The one by like Winners?
the one where there's like 3 seats.
Like under
inside.
Winners?
Yeah, maybe.
Is it outside or inside?
That's even worse.
Yeah, and he had just come from a shoot, and he was like,
But did he though? He probably just like put makeup
I
on
hope
and then was
so.
just like, oh, I just came from a shoot.
he was in a stupid outfit, and then he just was talking about how he had to like put weight on for the shoot, and I was like, oh yeah, fuck off.
Hence the crepes, maybe. Is that
Yeah.
why?
Look,
I guess.
carb loading?
Fat everywhere. Yeah, there you go.
You ladies are in. Got selected to be in the Vancouver Web Fest.
Yes,
Yeah.
very lucky.
How's that feel?
Awesome.
Really awesome, yeah. And to be like have the nominations, like we got a nom for best comedy, which feels really good.
Totally.
Because obviously the actual writing, I think, of it, it's just being shut up.
Dear God.
Yeah, just to have what we've written be recognized and
Yeah, and our biggest thing right now is like we just want more people to see it. We just
Totally.
want to like spread it out so it's a really great opportunity
Yeah.
to hopefully get more people and not just Vancouver-based people, but
yeah.
everywhere to see it.
Yeah, just nice to be recognized for a lot of hard work and have that recognition for all of our cast and crew and everyone that worked on it. So
Yeah.
All right, one last question. This is on like a serious question.
Yeah.
Kind of like
We live for serious.
serious. Okay.
Yeah.
The question is, would either of you date me?
date you.
Date me.
Are you asking?
Is
that?
this a
Or is
really
this like a
low risk
hypothetical
way of asking us
with
out?
cameras?
Together or separate? Together,
Separate.
yes.
We take it turns,
Oh,
I guess.
okay.
But, like,
Take turns.
I thought it'd be a funny because you
yeah.
had the episode on your YouTube
You
channel.
don't have
like,
to explain
yeah, okay.
I don't date, so.
Oh, okay then. Well,
Yeah,
there's
for
you.
sure. Yeah, I'll
Okay.
date anyone. I dated a male model, so you got a long way to go.
Well, ladies, thanks for for being on the show, being a good sport.
You're like, well, thanks.
All right, thanks.
Thank you very much.
How about we just go bowl and
What's your story, Vancouver?
Our city.
Our stories.
thanks for watching. I feel like that episode where the guy's like unboxing the.
Oh my God, totally. What's up, YouTube?
What's up, YouTube? My name is Damien, and you're tuning in to my channel. All right, today I'm on a date with this bae, and she wants to know what unboxing is.
What's up, YouTube?
What's up, YouTube? Yeah.
So good.
Thanks for watching. All their links and everything else will be in the description below. Check out season 2 coming out in June. Please like, share, subscribe to our channel
And ours.
and theirs. Girls versus the City. Girl on girl humor.
Yeah.
Thank you.